Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 13 of Lethal Weapons podcast with Joey, and we've got a special guest, Danielle Frances.
Hey, hang on.
Hit your little button.
Do a cheer there, look.
There you go.
You can't hear it, but the magic of science, it'll be there.
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good, Tommy. How are you?
Tommy, like that?
That is your name, right?
That's not my real name, but now you've learnt my real name today.
Did I?
His real name.
Did you not?
No.
Did you not?
I don't
yeah.
need to know.
No bed is.
Yeah. I like it. It's a good name.
Yeah. My mum's horrible, isn't she?
Yeah.
Calling
Your
me
mum's
no
nice.
bed.
I always thought she was a good judge character.
Yeah. Yeah, that's because she said she liked you, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She let me do the ironing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because she's shit at it, to be fair.
Is she?
Yeah. I've always done it myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a good ironer?
Really good at ironing.
Right, you can tell.
Yeah. It's a strong start, this.
Yeah.
to a comedy podcast. How good are you at ironing? Yeah. I'm not going to ask you that
I
question.
use a steamer.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I wouldn't be without it.
So posh.
I know.
Not really. It was a tenner off Amazon, but
Really? For a steamer?
I
That's
used
good,
to
isn't
style
it?
wigs. That's why I have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what do you mean? So
You
did
could
you
do one of them. What would you do for him?
What?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm not taking it off.
It was costume wigs. So
Oh,
like
that'd do.
synthetics, they need to be steamed.
I
and
think
just
you'd look good with one of them, like Scouse ones, you know, with
Like a big
a afro, like.
Yeah, like a big perm.
A perm.
Well, that's what my natural hairbal's like.
Really?
It's dead curly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I thought it, because you, yeah.
Yeah. I look like the type of person who would have an afro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Naturally. How have you been anyway?
What, in general?
Yeah, just in general.
Gigging.
Yeah?
Really busy, yeah.
Have
and
you? That's
having
good.
a full-time job as a senior social media executive.
Ooh.
We need one of them.
Yeah, no, it's quite a wanky title, but you know.
Genius. What does that include then? What do you
So
do?
I post to Facebook for other people. There
Oh,
you go.
okay. That's pretty cool, isn't it?
That's really
I do
cool.
that for you.
No, you don't.
Oh, we ain't got Facebook, have we?
No.
Do we need Facebook?
Yeah, that's a thing for the podcast.
Yeah.
I think for what you're doing, because you can post reels now on Facebook. So I would set up a page just so that you can post reels directly to Facebook.
What's the best?
Anyway, I'm not going to give you free advice. Oh my God.
I was literally just going to do
You've
that.
got to like pay me and come to the agency that I work for and have
Yeah.
a business. I have an opening for a client if you want it.
Yeah.
We could actually do with some advice, really, couldn't we? So
Yeah.
we'll definitely discuss
I
that
won't
with you
put it
after.
on the podcast.
Oh God, no, no. But I think we'll definitely do something because we need that. We're way too old for.
Yeah, way too old for podcasts. No.
For working social media, I haven't got a clue of it.
I
No,
can't.
everyone can do
I
social
can't
media.
spell. That's my problem.
No, but that's okay.
Oh,
That's okay. You can do all the technical stuff.
yeah.
You've got other.
As facets to my
Yeah.
assets.
Yeah, you have.
So go on, tell us about yourself.
What got you into
What
comedy?
you got into comedy?
Okay. So I used to be an actor,
Okay.
and I
Did,
got dropped by my agent,
Mm.
and I had.
was he not a good judge character
She,
then?
no,
She?
it was kind of mutual. It just wasn't working out,
Yeah,
and
okay.
I think acting was making me really miserable because I had to work as a waitress in a restaurant in order to support myself. Because acting is a lifestyle choice. It's not really it's not just a career. So you have to be available to drop everything last minute to go to London and have all these big auditions, which never happened for me. The highlight of my acting career was playing a penguin on a railway station. That's a true story. And then I never got asked back. Everyone else, all the elves got asked back, but not the penguin. That
What,
was the,
like a chocolate bar?
like an actual penguin. I got fat shamed by parents.
What?
Genuinely, yeah. They're like, "Oh, she's had too much fish," and I'm like, "It's stuffing." Anyway, so that was the last acting job I ever had, and then I've always wanted to make people laugh. I always was so adamant never to do stand up. People would always say, "You're really funny, you should do it." And I did comedy improv for like 4. I've been doing it about 5 years, but 4 years at that point.
What's the difference between comedy improv and stand up then? I don't know.
Well, comedy improv is made up on the spot.
Oh,
And
okay.
Stand up, you write.
So
your
it's
material.
like crowd work sort of thing.
What, child work?
Like crowd.
Oh, crowd work. No.
Yeah.
It's you get like suggestions from the audience and you make scenes based on those
Okay.
suggestions.
So it's like a bit of acting and a bit of... Right, okay.
Yeah. It's sort of like a bridge way, I guess. And I thought I do want to make people laugh because I always wanted comedy roles as an actor. I was too terrified to do stand up, even though I had friends in the industry that were like, "You should do it." And I was like, "Nope."
Yeah.
I was always a comedy fan for years. The first stand up comedy stand-up comedian I ever watched was Lee Mack.
Okay,
and I
he's
actually
good,
watched
isn't he?
him live as well. It's my first comedian I ever watched live. And my mum got me into it. She made me watch live at the Apollo, and then Lee Mack was on. I was like, oh, I really like comedy. And then every year at Christmas, my mum would buy me a stand-up DVD. So I've always been a stand-up fan, but was way too terrified. And obviously I used humour as a defence mechanism for the bullies in school. And I just naturally became funnier as my mental health deteriorated. You know,
that's what happens, isn't it? That's what happens.
And then, so when I got dropped by my agent, I decided I would take the comedy course at the Frog and Bucket, which I believe you two have done.
Did you with Dave?
Yes, with Dave Williams. One of the best teachers I've ever had for
So
anything
good,
ever. Yeah, such a lovely guy. I love you, Dave. And so when I did that, I signed up for the course because I was in a bad place, and I thought, oh God, I think acting, I'm just going to give it a miss, and I want to concentrate on having a social media career, because I did content on TikTok. I thought I'll take a comedy course in order to make my writing better for my skits online.
Cool.
And I thought, okay, so I'll do my stand-up, and then I've done it, and then because audience members came up to me at the end and said, you were amazing, you were like one of the best ones up there, and I was like, I'm not, but thank you. And then I thought, okay, maybe I'll just keep going just for a bit, but just for fun. And now I'm here about a year later, still doing stand-up, even though I said I would never do it. So that's why I did it.
What's been your favourite gig you've done so far?
Oh,
you run your own. You run your own gig, don't you? As well?
I do run my own gig. Gags at the Nags at the old Nags Head.
Is that in town?
In town.
In Manchester.
Yeah. So favourite gig. Oh God. I've had quite a good one at Hot Water when I did the open mic, and that's probably one of the best 5 minutes I've ever done.
Yeah.
But I have to say Femme de la Femme. That's probably my best one so far, because that's the first right. So comedians love to say, "Smashed it, mate, roofed it." And for me, I'm just like, when someone says something enough times, it loses its impact. But that was the first gig where people did come up and they were like, "You smashed it," and I was like, "Look, but also thank you." That was definitely Femme de Femme so far. So
where's that at? Is that like a regular gig, is it?
In the Everyman Theatre.
Oh, right,
it's one of the biggest crowds I've played to as well, so.
Yeah.
Do you think it's easier playing to a bigger crowd than a smaller crowd?
Do you know, this is so weird. So as an actor, obviously you're used to having a stage and having a big audience, and you'd think I'd prefer that, but actually I really like intimate gigs. I don't like, when I see 8, because a lot of comedians get upset when they see 8 audience members, but for me, I'm just like, I see it as an opportunity, because I'm like, well, actually I don't get as freaked out with how many people, with it just being me on stage. And I have, as you've probably seen right now, I'm really a fast talker, so when I'm nervous, you can imagine that I make a 10-minute set 5 minutes quite easily.
I've done that so many times.
And so when I get a smaller audience, I relax more. So I actually do better.
Yeah.
But I like intimate gigs. That's why I really like Hot Water, because the audience are literally just
it's
there.
like right on top of you.
Yeah,
isn't
and
it?
I find it easier. Whereas when they're out there, you're like, hello.
What do you think of the Frog? Do you like because you're quite high up on the stage, and
do you know what? I haven't beaten the Frog yet.
No, I haven't. Don't worry. I haven't. Don't worry.
No. I do find it a bit difficult, but the Frog and Bucket is like my favourite. It's my favourite. Like Beat the Frog used to be one of my favourite nights in Manchester. I say used to be because there's a bit PTSD going on at the minute. But me and my friend Beth, we used to go most Mondays. I say most Mondays, a lot. We actually had the card once. That was quite fun. And I suppose that was just starting the love of seeing live comedy a lot as well. Because I don't even really see
Did you feel bad putting your card up?
No, because the woman next to me was like, get it up, and I was just like, I'm really sorry. But, I was a lot nicer than some of the card holders these days.
I think it's weird, isn't it, how we said this before, though, how you put yourself up for people to judge you that aren't even qualified to judge anyone. You know, it's mad. But I think that's the biggest thing is getting that disconnect between how you feel and how you perceive that you've done. So get that confidence that you know it doesn't matter. And I think that's the thing I found hardest with comedy, I think. But do you know what? I went to a gig once, and there was 8 people in it. That's what reminded me. And the comedian took us all a chippy.
That's good, isn't it?
Oh, what?
The comedian took us all to the chippy instead of doing his act.
They went all chippy?
Yeah, we went to chip shop. He treated everyone to chips.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, that's really nice of him.
Yeah. I can't remember who it was. It was either Johnny Vegas or Smug Roberts years and years ago. I can't remember. I'm going to try and remember.
What's your worst gig?
That's what he did.
My worst gig.
Oh, you can't ask that.
No, I don't.
I don't mean for you personally, but like you don't have to mention like the promoter or anything. But like, have you had any like really had gigs where you think, fuck, I'm never doing this one again?
Well, I don't believe in blaming the audience
because
I kind of think, you know what, sometimes I mean, yes, sometimes the audience just aren't up for it. Sometimes the room isn't set up well. Lots of circumstances that are out of your control, but sometimes they're just not liking you on the night. They're not for your material. I mean, I talk about Disney princesses in my set, so I'm not for everyone.
Mine's similar.
I don't. The thing is, it's going to sound so wanky, and I hope no one judges me for it. I learn from every gig, and I learn more from the worst gigs that I have.
No, I totally agree with you. I don't think that's wanky, because you do. Because if you do dead well, you just think you're ace, and
exactly. And then you're brought down to
when
earth
you'd have to drive home crying, you know, in the quiet of the car, and just listening to the Smiths, and then you can.
I think. Do you know what? I don't really have like one of the worst gigs. I think open mics can be a little bit soul destroying, just mainly because if there's not like an actual audience, you're just playing it to people that have seen your set before, so you're just kind of like, okay, I don't know what this is about. But
it's weird, isn't it? Because I find that comedians are just like the hardest audience to
100%.
Perform to, but you think that you'd make the effort and make it easier and support each other to make the world better.
What comics find funny, real audiences.
Yeah,
so
I think that's.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, rather than saying my worst gig, I'll tell you one of my hardest gigs I did, and that was because of I was battling in the midst of having pneumonia at this point. I didn't know I had pneumonia at this point. Like doctors were telling me I was fine, but I really wasn't. So I went and did So You Think You're Funny, and before going on stage, I had a comic, and she was like looking at me like she's coughing, and she just went, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, just I'm dealing with a chest infection. She went, is it contagious? And I went, no, you're fine. Right? I had my back up a little bit because I was just kind of like, look, right, I'm struggling here, okay, and I'm about to go on stage. I threw up on the back. There was a balcony outside. I threw up, right? Because I had a really bad coughing fit. And they went, Danielle Frances went, hi!
Pick you bits this carrot off you.
You have to do like 7 minutes of material, and here I am to a London crowd, and I'm trying to stifle a cough. And it's probably one of the best gigs I've ever done in terms of getting a reaction, but in the midst of pneumonia. So that's the toughest gig. Imagine throwing up before going on stage, having a comic look at you like you've got the plague, and then having to stifle a cough on stage.
Have you played in London a lot?
No, that was the first time.
Yeah, I've not been to London yet.
I've not left the Northwest yet.
No, I don't want to really.
No.
No, one of my goals in comedy is to play to a Scottish audience because obviously I'm Scottish.
Same.
Yeah. Whereabouts?
Where are you from? I've got a
Scotland?
dream venue that I want to play.
Yeah, I don't have. Well, I know that the Monkey Barrel. That's quite. The thing is, I've been out of Scotland for about 11 years, and I'm from right at the top.
I was going to ask whereabouts.
I'm from somewhere. I'm not going to say exactly.
No,
I'm from the Highlands. Okay?
Yeah.
But a lot of people are really shocked when they say I've never been to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, but it's really expensive, and I also live nowhere near Edinburgh.
Yeah.
So.
We're going to go this year. That's what we're going to try and do. Maybe for I don't know how long.
We'll definitely go for a couple of days in August for sure.
I'm learning to drive this year,
Oh, are you?
so I can't afford to go this year. But next year, hopefully, I'm splitting a show with someone. So hopefully, I will finally get to play to my audience and see if Scotland like me.
I'm sure.
I love Scotland.
What's your dream venue then?
The Stand.
The Stand. Oh yeah,
Edinburgh.
that's in Glasgow.
Oh,
Edinburgh.
that's
There's one
where
in
you
Edinburgh
went
as
to
well.
watch thing, you want it?
I've been to the Stand a few times. I've been to Edinburgh Festival, the Fringe, a lot, but I don't know. There's something about the Stand in Edinburgh. It's super intimate. It's a real old school comedy club, and that's where I really fell in love with watching comedy and live comedy. And I was like, So when I started doing the course, I was like, right, dream venue. Where do you want to play? The Stand in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
100%.
It's really bad that I don't have a dream venue because I don't know Scotland's comedy scene at all.
Scottish comedy's fucking really good though. Like,
that was good though.
I like Scottish comedy.
Yeah. So all comedy.
It's got a really good comedy scene in Scotland, hasn't it?
Yeah. I'm seeing Danny Boy in Inverness next week.
I seen Danny Boy at the stand in Edinburgh. I love Danny Boy.
Like, he's literally like my favourite Scottish comic, and Larry Dean as well.
One of my favourite ever bits of comedy was one of Danny Boy's, and it was where they was talking about what flowers place he's got, you know, for the flag.
Yeah.
And Danny Boy was talking about Scotland getting the thistle.
For free.
And he's like, a weed.
A weed.
What? It's free. Honestly.
I just love that our mythical, our animal, our national animal is a unicorn.
Yeah.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
Wales got a dragon, hasn't it?
Wales has got a dragon.
Yeah. What have we
But I
got?
love Danny Boy so much.
The Greg's probably.
One of my all-time favourites, Danny Boy.
Really?
Yeah, one of my all-time favourite comics, Danny Boy.
I don't even know who my favourite
See, when
comic
I say
is.
Danny Boy, no one else knows, so I'm glad I found another.
100%.
Yeah.
I love Scottish comedy though. Like genuinely, I love Scotland.
We are
as
best,
a
aren't
whole.
We used to go to Scotland to Speenbridge, it was called, just outside Ben Nevis, where's that? Fort William. Like, it's dead nice.
We used to go to a cabin up in Scotland at Brighouse Bay, which is near
Scotland.
It's near Stranraer.
Stranraer!
Yeah. I knew you was going to do that. I knew you was going to do Phoenix Nights when I said Stranraer. As soon as you say Stranraer around here, everyone does Phoenix Nights, don't they? Straight away. But yeah, I love Scotland. Absolutely love it.
It always rains, it's crap.
No, it's beautiful. Beautiful. Glasgow was rough. Glasgow was scary.
I do like Glasgow. Though.
It's scary. I went watching Tom Segura a few weeks back in Glasgow. But yeah, it was scary.
Why was it scary?
Because there was literally people throwing hot drinks at each other outside the hotel.
Nice about it.
Oh, there wasn't.
Hot drinks?
Like, they was throwing so it wasn't even nighttime. And they were throwing like hot cups of coffee.
I mean,
like,
have you been to Piccadilly Gardens? Like,
I tend to stay away from big cities. I get sensory overload.
I went Glasgow a bit back. We were working up there, and it is nice. It is a bit edgy. That's how I would probably describe it. But we had a great laugh, to be honest.
Meant to go to Glasgow. That was my first choice when I was a wee bairn. A wee bairn. But then I never got into that drama school 2 years, so I decided Manchester was the next option.
Yeah. Love it. I've always wanted to do some kind of performing though. I wanted to do performing arts when I left school and stuff.
Was you the funny one at school?
Not really. Yes and no. I had like a smart mouth with the teachers and stuff. I wouldn't say I was the funny one. I was sporty when I was younger. I played rugby and stuff.
Yeah.
So I never really had to, I could rely on my looks back then. And then I got fat and had to become the funny guy. So that's what happened. Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need to do, get a bit fatter then.
Yeah. And you might be funny.
So you moved down 11 years ago.
Yes, when I was 19.
Right.
Yeah, I moved down.
Do you think you'll stay down here now?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty settled. Like, when I was an actor, I was always like, I'm going to go to London. It never happened because I was too scared. But the thing is, I have all my friends here and kind of settled. Like, my life is here. And I like how central it is for, like, everything else. And especially for comedy as well. It's really good being here. And you can always, like, just go to London. Do you know what I mean? It's not that
only a couple of hours away, isn't it, on the train?
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Yeah,
it's not for me. It just seems stabby.
Yeah, it's
too stabby.
Yeah.
Well, stabby. I think it just feels a bit dirty.
It's just not somewhere. But obviously, if anyone wants to book me for a gig there,
yes, 100%. I loved doing the So You Think You're Funny too, because I always wanted to perform to a London audience. So for me, it was.
Well, that's the thing. Do you think there's a difference in the humour? From like north.
I mean, there's a big difference between humour in Manchester and Liverpool. Like I do
completely
better in Liverpool.
So I'm the opposite. I think I do better in Manchester.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I'd say I do all right in Manchester. I do like Liverpool crowds. In terms of London, I think anything goes in London. I think that's what's really nice. It's probably more of an alternate scene in London as
It's a bit more extreme, I think, in London, isn't it? I think because there's that many. I mean, there's a lot of people doing comedy now here, but I think there's that many more that everyone's trying to outdo each other to a point, and it gets, and you've got all the different facets of it. I mean, like, there's one I was looking at where the crowd have beanbags, and if they think you're rubbish, rubbish.
throw
Chuck
beanbags
at you, which I think is quite good to watch. But if you was a comic
It'd
and
be
people were doing
horrific
that,
to be on stage, wouldn't it?
it'd
And
be
I'm a big
awful.
target.
But if people,
I've heard about this, like, you know, 'cause
Yeah.
health and safety isn't a thing. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, well, they're only little, like.
Yeah, but you're not even allowed to throw sweets at Panto anymore, so I don't
Oh, you're
know.
not?
No.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't really be doing that, should you?
Well, I suppose if you sign up, it's only like going down in a submarine.
Yeah.
I had to get that
You
in.
sign up for
No,
it.
but I was thinking, right, because we were talking about this. One of the other things that we want to do is set our own gig up as well, around here, ish. And but we were trying to think of. I mean, I did comedy 25 years ago, and it's not changed. The people have changed, but the format's still the same. And we was thinking, what could you do, hypothetically, to make it a little bit different? So we've been looking at, like that bongo bingo sort of, where it's a bit... But I don't know if it works with comedy, because I know music never works with comedy.
In what way?
If you have too much music, it kills the comics. If you have, like, everyone...
Oh, you mean musical acts?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you mean like musical comedy.
Yeah, no, you can have musical comedy, but
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I mean is, if you have a comedy show, you can see why it has to be like it is, because if you were to put a comedian on and then put a band on, you couldn't follow that with a comedian, really.
Yeah,
No.
that's true.
If you're having a
Yeah.
comedy night,
Well,
you have a
back
comedy
in the-
night, don't they?
Back in the day, they had comedians that would warm up musical acts.
Yeah, like,
really?
they
Yeah,
still
yeah.
do that for the telly, don't they, as well?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I've been listening to podcasts, and yeah, there's comics that used to warm up Jeremy Kyle audiences and
Yeah.
things like that. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Why would you
right?
need to warm up
There was-
Jeremy Kyle?
Oh.
That?
There was a lad that did Vanessa Phelps, and he said one of the jokes was, she's a size 12 in shoes or something like that, and she sued him
Wow.
when I was doing it. So it's a bit dodgy, isn't it?
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's-
you've got to know you're...
It's a joke, isn't it?
It's
Know
a
what I
joke,
mean?
but you've got to be
Yeah.
like...
Is it Vanessa? Yeah, it was. That's who it was.
Yeah. You've kind of...
Allegedly, I think. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was when that was years and years ago.
And they sued him.
Yeah, she sued him for it.
Wow. Fuck.
So, but no, because that's what you're saying. And you say you've got that thing with the beanbags, which I think from an audience participation is
Can
pretty
you throw
good.
them back?
Well, yeah,
I
I don't know.
would.
That's
Yeah.
the thing.
100%.
Yeah.
I'm catching at least one of
I
them.
don't know how it works, but what I didn't see is the guy I was advertising for people to do it, and he got such a backlash off comics saying basically you can fuck off. I'm not doing that, but I bet people will do it.
Yeah,
And I
100%
suppose
people
you'll
will do it.
get to a point where it'll specialise maybe, but I sort of do get it. But it's kind of like Beat the Frog. I mean, there's nothing worse than getting gonged off it. Well, you wouldn't know, but it's just soul destroying because you're trying your hardest and you're just like, all right, is that
Violent crime.
Continuity.
violent? Is that what flavour's that?
Violent crime was
Oh, it was the inside of a roadman's
inside of a
bum bag, wasn't
roadman's
it?
man bag. Yeah.
That's right.
And, yeah, a rusty kitchen knife.
There's nothing wrong with Rusty.
No. Like your testicles.
How
Because
do
you're
you
ginger.
know?
Because you're fucking ginger.
I might die him.
What?
I might die him.
Do you die him?
No, I might.
Yeah, okay. Could use a steamer on them. See if you can get the wrinkles out of
I
them.
think they're red enough. Right, go on.
Used to work in hospitality.
I did,
Yeah,
yes.
I used to work in hospitality.
Did you?
I
What did you used to do in
I
hospitality?
was a chef.
Oh,
I was
we're
the talent.
enemies.
Was you like that one off the Muppets?
Oh, the Swedish chef. I've got Swedish. Bloody me
Oh,
as well.
no, 4%.
Yeah, 4% Swedish.
Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Have they caught up with you for that
No.
DNA test?
No. I know. I was worried about putting my DNA in the system.
Yeah. I would be.
Yeah.
Your sister, did you say?
Sister.
It's fine, though. Just
I don't have a
remembered you.
sister. Only child.
Well, yeah.
I'm an only child.
Me
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, or as I like to call it, I'm limited edition.
Limited.
I've got a sister.
As my mum likes to call it, fucking enough. Fucking
Yeah.
plenty.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got sterilised like straight after me.
Oh.
Did she?
Yeah.
What, by choice?
Yeah, it wasn't FGM. It
Oh.
was. It was. Yeah, she went to a hospital and got it done.
Okay.
My mum had really bad illness before I was born, so she couldn't have kids. So I'm a miracle baby.
Oh,
miracle
that's
baby.
ace.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. I don't know about me. I
No one does.
just know.
No one's got a
An
fucking
enigma.
clue. You what?
An enigma.
And right.
And then
Okay. I was gonna have to get the clipper out. How did you find working in hospitality?
I hated it, obviously. No, do you know what? I didn't mind it because you get a lot of banter when you work in hospitality.
Love it.
And it is a very flexible job, and I do miss having like a random Tuesday afternoon off. You know, that's when but I do like the routine of a 9 to 5 now. I mean, look, I've still got best mates that I met in hospitality, and I think it's definitely, unless you've. So what a lot of people will say to me, like, oh yeah, I used to be a waitress. You know, oh really? When did you do it? Oh, when I was a student. I'm like, nah, you got to work it full time to really understand what working in hospitality is like. Because there's a difference between when you work it what once every Saturday because you don't need the money, you're just doing it to get by as a student. But when you're doing it full time and that is your job, and how soul destroying that is, there's a massive difference.
100%.
Yeah.
Couldn't agree more.
Aren't some people all right with you though? I mean, I always try and have a laugh with people when I go.
Yeah, not all customers are cool.
Yeah, but you cope. I mean, I've worked in a posh restaurant, I've worked in theatres, and I've worked in a pie restaurant. The best I was going to say best audiences then, the best customers I had were in the pie shop because it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're not going to get fancy food.
Yeah.
But when you're in like posh, especially when you're in a theatre, the customers are the worst in a theatre because they've paid so much money and then they scream and yell at you because the queue's not going down fast enough. And I'm like, look, that was it, like the price of ice creams. So the price of ice creams were more than my hourly wage.
No.
So I used to say, when I'd give the 2 ice creams, say that's £9, please. And they go, £9 for 2 ice creams. I'm like, I get paid less than that. And they'd go, right, okay. And they'd give me the money. And I'm like,
It wasn't me. I'd pay that though.
Yeah. Would you?
Yeah, I fucking love ice cream.
I don't know if I would.
Yeah, like.
Not now I'm a gym bunny.
No.
No,
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I love it. It's like my favourite thing. It's like heroin to me, that.
Is it really?
Yeah, it is. Ben and Jerry's, I fucking love it.
Would you line it up?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't do that though because it'll melt.
Right. Could you drink it quicker then? No?
Yeah. Yeah, just.
What is it? The texture or like the temperature?
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, everything. Rubbing it
I
on
don't
my
like
chest.
melted ice cream.
Do you know?
No.
It's just cream, innit?
When I lived in Australia, I worked in Earth and Sea Pizza.
Worked in what?
Earth and Sea Pizza.
Earth and Sea.
Yeah.
I thought you said a German word then.
No. And I did washing up.
Pot wash.
Right, and that is the hardest job I've ever had.
Yeah.
It was relentless and it was red hot, and it's just so anyone that does that sort of thing, I've got massive respect for.
So before I was a chef, I started as a pot wash.
Did you?
Little pub called the Waterside.
Hard
KP,
work.
as they say,
Yeah.
And I went upstairs for a smoke. This one you could still smoke inside. That's how long ago it was. And when I came back down, there was a pile, and it was so big. There was like 3 piles of plates, and I just pushed them on the floor.
Did you?
Yeah, I just pushed them on the floor and smashed all the plates. And I was like, oh shit, sorry chef. I tried to pick them up. It was too heavy, and I've dropped them all now. Because it was easier to scoop them up and throw them away than go through that big pile of dishes. Like, yeah, fuck this shit.
Oh, I did all right. It's the first time we did it, he gave me a box of out-of-date beer for doing it. Carlton Colds.
Nice.
You have really bad indigestion.
I bet you fucking did.
Do you know the best waiters have been kitchen ports because they scrape the fucking plates.
Yeah.
The amount of time, because I had to wash dishes. When I worked in the pie restaurant, we all had to muck in and we had to do the dishes, and it was so apparent the people that have actually worked in proper restaurants than just working in this pie cafe. It was, technically it was a cafe, and they would just throw the plates anywhere, and I would lose my shit. People were like, "Oh, she's off one." I'm like, "No, you scrape the plates and you stack them. Okay, it makes it easier for people."
100%. Nothing worse than someone.
What was the best-selling pie?
As I say, the name of the place that used to work.
You don't have to. Just what was it, like a cheese and onion one? Or...
Yeah, so it's quite a famous chain. It rhymes with Prime Minister. So I'll let you guess.
Oh right,
which one it is. Yeah. And I say that
Johnson's.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, Johnson's. So they do like a number of pies. That was sort of like the speciality that they have all these like 12 different, probably more than that now. I like the steak and blue cheese. Ooh. I do love a steak and blue cheese
be alright. Yeah.
One of my favourites. Absolutely one of my favourites.
Yeah, I always used to like cheese and onion pies.
You can't eat pies now.
I can't eat pies anymore, no, but when I could, I like cheese and onion pies. But
because you're stupid.
No, just when you used to go to Chippy and you used to get Holland's pies.
Yeah.
Cheese and onion pie was always the best one.
Was it? Chicken and mushroom for me.
Was it?
Yeah, I love a chicken and mushroom.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
no,
that what
see, I
you
gave
said though, the
myself-
blue cheese would be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is a good pie.
I
that.
gave myself food poisoning with a chicken and mushroom pie.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I didn't heat it properly, so I can't have it anymore.
Wow.
My boss was so angry at me. He was, I was like, oh, I can't come in, I feel sick. And then I realised why. And he was like, yeah, because you didn't heat the fucking pie properly, did you? I was like, no.
Yeah, next time I will cut you.
That'd been a really good joke, that, if we hadn't fucked up the recording
Yeah,
and had
I
to
was
cut
about
that bit
to say,
out.
Oh, now I'm going to put it back in. Just for that to
You
work.
just have to leave it in with the sound of a fan rolling.
Yeah. Oh, we could leave it in there. I'll pretend it's a helicopter.
So, have you ever nearly been stabbed?
I nearly got stabbed by a chef.
Told you Glasgow was rough.
It wasn't in Glasgow, it was in Manchester.
Oh, that's even worse.
Even worse. Yeah, all chefs were like, the majority of the ones I worked with was all just fucking alcoholics.
Mm-hmm.
Did loads of drugs.
Oh, what's that Netflix show? Boiling Point.
All right, I've not seen that.
Is that the one where it's
So
done in one
realistic.
take?
Yes.
Yeah, I've
it's,
seen it.
Yeah, it's very, very realistic in terms of like how a restaurant works. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all done in one take. It's dead clever out some
I was borderline alcoholic when I was
Was
a
you?
kid. Yeah, we was out literally.
You've never been able to
every
commit.
night. What?
You've never been able to commit, have you?
No, never went full alcoholic. But we was literally every
If you're
single
doing it,
night,
it's
every
worth doing
single
properly.
shift.
I'm not alcoholic. I just found something I was good at.
Yeah. Drinking.
Yeah.
I mean, my feet are fucked still.
Oh, yeah.
From being on my feet.
100%.
Like 10 hours. When people complain about doing like a 9 to 5, and I'm just like, try being on your feet for 12 hours without a break.
Yeah.
Just try it.
My last chef job, we had to do two days a week. We had to do what's called an AFD, which is all fucking
day.
all fucking day. So you was in from breakfast right through to like 11 o'clock at night. And there's no breaks as a chef. Like,
No.
What can you eat
Yeah.
while you're going along?
well, you're tasting constantly all day while you're cooking, so you don't really get hungry. That's why all chefs smoke, because it's the only time they're allowed to leave the kitchen.
is it?
Yeah.
So they can nip out the back and have a cig. It was just fucking grueling.
It's just eating your food on the go as well. Like,
Constant.
that's nothing for your digestion system.
No.
Like I never had. That's why I like having a schedule now, because at least I have a good sleeping schedule now.
Yeah.
Because I was in bed. So when you work in evenings, you'd be in bed till like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because you're just preserving energy. So if you got up too early, you're too tired for your shift at night.
It's grim.
Yeah.
It was proper. I used to have sit-down weeks when I was a chef, just so I could sit down.
So it came a running joke because I just pretend I had stomach issues. I just sit on the toilet for like 10 minutes
100%.
just to sit down, and then they'd be like, "You're gonna have to clock off for your poos," and I'm like, "I'm having a poo," but you know.
But I'll pretend.
I'll let you think that, just so I can sit
Just
down.
to sit down for a little
But
bit.
I
Really
had,
that
like-
bad?
Yeah,
honestly.
especially like I had so
And now
much.
you're doing stand up?
I know. Well, I can stand up for 10 minutes if I can stand up for 12 hours. The amount of anxiety attacks I've had in customer toilets, not even joking. And then you have to like, dry your eyes before you go out and go, "Hi, what can I get you? I want to die." It's like...
Have you ever had a customer that's been really top though and you thought, yeah, that's made my day, that has?
Oh yeah, like usually saying thank you is nice. I mean, for me, it's when people ask for the bill properly. Now, how do you ask for a bill properly? I'll tell you. So it's when the waiter comes over.
I was all keyed up to tell you that.
Right. You tell me. How do you think you should ask for a bill properly in a restaurant?
I look at my girlfriend and I go, "Have you got this?" Because otherwise, we're gonna have to.
Just if it's a toilet.
No, I would usually just say, "Can I get the bill when you've got a second, please?"
Okay.
Excuse me. Please may I pay the bill?
Okay, so that's the second right way. I'll tell you the first right. Okay, so it's when the waiter or waitress comes over and they say, when you've either had your main meal or you have. So when you've had your main meal, they take it away and they go, "Can I get you anything else?" If you do not ask for a dessert menu, that's when you go, "Just the bill, thank you."
Yeah.
And they go, "Brilliant," because if you stop me when I'm midway, I'm busy.
No, that's exactly what I do. That's
Hey,
when
that
I
makes
ask.
that
that's
actually
what
makes
you should
sense.
do.
That I'm going to
Yeah,
do that.
That's when I ask.
So if someone says, "Can I get you anything else?" That's when you.
You see,
if you do not ask for a dessert menu, you ask for the bill.
I
Yeah,
always
100%.
took
That's
that
exactly
to
when I
be their extra selling point, and
No,
Yeah.
if they say, do you want a dessert menu or do you want anything
Yeah.
else, I'll go, oh no, I'm good. Can I get
Yeah.
the bill when you've got a second? Though?
Exactly, right. And if you have a dessert, then you ask after the dessert.
Don't you go, garçon?
Absolutely not, because
I've been
I
clicked
will throw something
Yeah.
at you. No, because genuinely, when people are trying to like thing you down for the bill, or they're trying to write in the air, and I'm like, it's great amateur dramatics, well done. It's too busy. Like I'm not gonna lie, I've totally deliberately ignored people when they're asking me for the
100%.
bill, and I don't use eye contact because I'm thinking I'm too busy, and you didn't ask me at the opportune moment, so this is on you.
So, before I was a chef, I worked on a bar in the place where I became a chef. And I had a guy lean over the bar and ring the bell. You know that you ring at the end of the night
Yeah.
to tell people it's last orders. Because I was serving someone down this end of the bar and he went ding 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 on the bell. I was like, oh, you're going to be waiting so fucking long, dude.
Well, what we used to do, right, and it was dead funny when it was dead busy, because we used to have a club where we used to go in, and we had the phone number, and when it was dead busy, we just used to ring up, and he'd have to go off, but he'd always go and answer the phone because he had to answer the phone, and he used to put your order in, and he'd just look at you like, but we always got served before everyone else.
Amazing.
So,
I'd have loved you.
but yeah.
But
we always tipped.
Yeah.
So you don't mind when you
always tip. Please.
So that's it. When you're a chef, you don't get any of the tips.
Do you not?
No.
I think there was one time a guy. Yeah, you don't get tips.
Don't get tips
unless you
get chips though.
Oh, all
Which
the chips.
better?
All the chips.
I once had
I was a relatively
guy,
slim man before I was a chef.
he threw up outside the bathroom, and no one likes dealing with vomit. And I lost my shit. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, for fuck's sake, who's thrown up? And apparently his friends were like sitting on the table right next to me, hearing me lose my shit. And they went, he's just gone outside. And I was like, I don't get paid enough for this. So I start like cleaning up his sick. And then he comes back and he's like, I'm really sorry. And he gave me a $5. And I was like, thank you. I was like, well, at least you tipped me for cleaning
50
up
quid
your
in a
vomit.
taxi.
When I worked on the bar, I worked at a place that had sort of like an indoor playground thing. I'll not say the name of the place. It's a Limewood Farm in Haydock.
Yeah.
And I was doing a shift. I was a chef there, but they needed someone on the bar, so I went and did a bar shift for him. And a kid took his nappy off, had a shit, and then slid down the slide. Right. And then to be asked, mate, can you just come over to me with a mop and bucket and go, could you go and sort that out?
I'd have soda siphoned it from the top.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I refused flat. I was like, absolutely, fuck, I will lose my job before I stand mopping shit. Like, people I know come in this pub. Like, imagine someone coming in who we went to school with, and they were like, oh, I seen Tommy the other day, and he was mopping shit off a slide.
Yeah, but
doing really well for himself.
It's an honest day's work, though, isn't it?
I think
it's not for me, that.
If a manager's not willing to clean up shit, you shouldn't expect
not
his
for
staff
me, that.
to
Absolutely. That's definitely not a Tommy job, that one. Mopping shit off a slide. No.
Right, we got out in the bucket.
The bucket? We've not even spoke. We're nowhere near the bucket yet, Joe.
Oh, we're not?
No, we've got a schedule for the episode right there.
I can't see it, not got my glasses on.
No.
It's got a
We've
bucket
got
on
some AI
it.
questions, though.
Oh, that's what I meant. Have we got any AI questions?
We have got some AI questions. In the form of Graham Norton.
Oh, nice.
In the style of Graham Norton. So, let's have a quick butchers. If there's any we ask and you're like, nah, not for me, we'll skip and we'll go to a next one.
Yeah.
So let's have a look.
I don't think it's too bad.
Have you ever laughed uncontrollably at an inappropriate moment?
I reckon you will have done most of them.
Oh yeah, there's bound to be. I'm trying to think. Oh god, yeah, like in client meetings. The thing about me, right, is so that no, people don't like believe you when you say this, but you know when funny things just come into your head, and so you sat there on the bus going, and the person next to you is like, "Is she okay?" And I'm just like, "No, I'm not okay." And I've done it in client meetings sometimes, and I'm just there like, "Oh god, I'm just thinking of something funny that someone said in the office, and it's just coming to my head randomly." So that happens. I guess. Yeah, at work when it shouldn't really.
I had I went to an all boys school, and our head teacher, Mr. Knowles, I'll say his name. Probably dead now.
Speak up a little bit.
No, but sorry.
Thank you.
Our head teacher was a big barrel-chested bloke, and he had, looking back, proper respected him. He's like ex-army, I think, and he was like big mean, and he used to go, "You laddie," and he was Welsh, I think, thinking back, and he was a right big strong personality, and everyone used to be dead scared of him. Basically, he was only little, and I remember him coming in a class once, and someone had been playing up, and he stood at the front of the class, and he went, "I am looking for a boy." I fucking lost it, mate. I was like, and I got a fucking right bollocking for it. But even when I was getting shouted at, "What's so funny?" And I'm going, no.
I'm looking for a boy.
No, yeah. And
We're just going to have that as a clip, by the way. That's the advert for this episode.
Doesn't make me look dodgy at all.
Mine, and one stands out and it always will, but it was a funeral. Genuinely, I promise you this is a completely true story. I'll obviously not name the people and stuff.
Yeah.
It was a friend's sister who had passed away. And my friend and his brother were like sat in front of me on the pews. I was sat like a row back. They were on the front row. I was on the second. And out of nowhere, why the priest? It was like a Catholic, proper Catholic service. And why out of nowhere, why they're doing this little speech? Someone just pings this little gong for out of fucking nowhere, and it took everyone by surprise. And the two brothers started absolutely pissing themselves laughing. So that made me like, because I love it when people, when laughter's infectious, and especially when you shouldn't, because everyone in the fucking church is looking and going, "What the fuck are you fucking laughing at? Stop fucking laughing."
And you can't.
So because they was laughing, I start fucking like, so my shoulders are just fucking really going. And then before you knew it, like the first two rows of this church were just completely belly laughing because they kept just pinging this.
What was it for?
No idea. There was one little boy doing this with some incense.
Yeah.
And another little boy just going, "Boom," on this thing.
It probably had significance.
Just out of nowhere, and honestly, I've never laughed like that. No. And especially at a funeral when everyone's dead sad. It was actually brilliant.
I hate funerals, mate.
Oh, funerals are the worst. Honestly, trying to do stand up at them would be.
I sometimes like that.
Yeah,
sometimes like that for me, though.
Yeah. I think that's the place you should have comics. Instead of a eulogy.
Can you imagine that? You
could give like a life story of that person to a comic and say, "Do me 10 minutes."
Can you imagine like a comic going over going, "Oh, God, look a bit sad. Who's died?" And like, "You in a minute, mate."
That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that'd be the most inappropriate place to. What do you think would be the most inappropriate place to laugh?
Don't know. There's loads in there.
Say one.
The most
we can edit it out.
Probably. I've got one.
A funeral's
go for
bad.
I mean, if you're being given bad news from a doctor, and it's like, "I'm sorry to say, it's an incurable disease," you're like,
I think it'd be worse if it's the doctor laughing.
Here's one. Knock, knock. Sound your coffin's gonna make in about 6 months.
That's class.
I do improv. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know improv is.
I've got your diagnosis. Do you like wearing hats? Just gonna get really bald really quickly. No.
So that won't be the only coffin you'll be doing.
Yes. Love it. Yeah, I think that could be the worst. Like giving someone a really bad prognosis. And then
Can you imagine being
it's in your ass.
Imagine being on the news though. That must be, like if you're reading some story out and it gets that'd be bad, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
That'd
be really good.
Yeah.
It's imploded.
Oh, the well fucked.
That probably would be like being on the submarine and making a joke and then suddenly
yeah.
Didn't even get to finish the punchline.
Yeah. As long as you got a in before.
album. And that's entertainment.
No, that's so bad. Oh.
For 250 grand, you're going to meet the original people who sailed on this boat.
What if they...
Is that your flat, mate? Because it will be.
I know you said it was a flat pack, but...
Oh, it's bad, that, isn't it?
What?
The people died on that.
Oh, yeah, no, we know it's bad, Joe. We know it's bad.
Was it just inappropriate laughing?
This is satire.
Oh, okay. What's satire?
I don't know. I've heard it bandied around. I feel like you know what satire meant. Do you know what satire means?
Yeah.
Okay.
I know a car tire.
What's satire? Is this it?
I know what it is. I don't know. Can I tell you what it is? It's when you're on a big chair. So you're satire.
Oh, I can see why your comedy career has took 25 years before you did your second gig.
I come up with a good one today, didn't I?
You did.
Come up with a
Don't
good
tell
joke
anyone.
today.
Don't tell
okay,
anyone.
I'm
Keep
not
it part of your
allowed to
set.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Keep it part of your... Right. Next AI question.
Okay.
We'll just do 3. Let's
Aw.
do 3, and then we've got the bucket. Who left on control? We've done that one. Share a cringe-worthy moment from your teenage years that still haunts you.
I don't
Can you remember your
memory
teenage
for that.
years?
No, it's in black and white. I think I haven't really got any because everything I do is awesome.
Yeah. I got caught getting a wank in history.
A wanking in history?
Yeah.
What was it about? Like
Girl
the
who
Great
sat
Plague?
who sat next to me in history.
I don't want to know anyway. Go on.
Yeah.
That's another question. I
We're
don't
not
want to
having
know
that
that.
I won't name her. She's gay now.
Just fucking
wonder
put her off for
why.
life.
Yeah. And I lost my job.
Teacher.
Oh, lovely. As the janitor.
Yeah. What's the most outrageous thing you've done to impress a crush?
It's that time in the summer eve.
I'm just myself.
Yeah, that's all you need. Isn't it?
Have you ever had an awkward or funny encounter with a celebrity?
No, because
My lad met Dave Grohl.
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
Oh.
You
That
know,
is a
in
pretty
Manchester.
cool person to meet.
And he sat there and he goes, "That's Dave Grohl over there." And I went, "From Nirvana?" And he went, "Yeah." And I went, "Well, why don't you go say hello to him?" And he went, "All right." And he did, and it was. And he sat with him and ate pizza.
That's pretty cool,
That's
isn't it? To be
pretty
fair.
awesome. I haven't met enough famous people, to be honest.
No. Us?
True.
Yeah. This is it.
This is.
Oh, this is a good one.
Go on.
What's the silliest thing you've done to try and overcome a fear?
A beer?
A fear.
Oh.
You done anything to overcome any of your fears?
God.
So comedy's one of mine.
What did you do to do it? Just do it?
Yeah, so I had a real shitty fear of public speaking, but I'm also very much into exposure therapy. I get dead anxious, man.
Hey!
Yeah. So whatever I'm scared of, I'll do the extreme of that thing to kind of get me over it. So I really don't like public speaking at all. So I went and did the comedy course.
How do you deal with being nervous with comedy?
I'm trying to turn anxiety into excitement. So when I'm feeling like, you get that anxious feeling in your stomach and you feel like you're going to fucking throw up, I try and trick my brain to think, I'm actually buzzing for this. I'm dead excited to get up there. And
Maybe that's what I need to do, because I just get too...
Do you get that nervous? I get
'cause
nervous
the
too.
The issue when you're an actor, and this is... Because I know a lot of actors, it's quite cliche that when your acting career goes, you become a comedian, and probably vice versa, to be honest. I don't, but one thing, a lot of actors will probably say, and I was this arrogant as well when I started, that you think, oh, it's performing, it's getting on stage, it's learning a monologue. Oh, no. The worst thing, and I still go into this habit, is learning your set like it's a monologue, because you have to read the audience to realise what material to bring out, and if they're not going for that, maybe set it up differently. So you're having to always respond in the moment. So when I'm really nervous, I go into monologue mode, and I don't do as well.
exactly the same with me.
And
I've been thinking about that this week.
Yeah,
I think though you need that to a point that if you're going under, you need to know your set that well that you can just drop onto it and not think and say it without having to think. So you could think.
So I know my 10 minutes. Like, no problem. Like it's all embedded in my brain. But what I don't want to be is someone who just goes on stage, reads his 10 minutes out of his head, and then leaves the stage. Yeah. And it'll get laughs. Yeah. Because I'm really talented.
But I think though, I think that you need to learn how to tell it though properly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you do need to know it off by heart, and then you need to change it round as you do need to see the reaction. Because even the tiniest little change has a different reaction. It's weird, isn't it?
But when you do, so I did a gig with Pro Comics last Sunday, and there's just the gap is massive. Like I've done a lot of open mics and stuff like that, and I've done well at open mics, and it went well last Sunday. But when because you're self-aware, aren't you? And when you see yourself do that, and then you see a pro comic come on who's doing 2 solo shows a day in Edinburgh in a couple of months, you think, fuck, he's really good.
But I think that just comes with doing it though.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I agree.
But I think there's no substitute. That's the problem with it. And I think
that's the problem with me. Because I'm impatient.
People doing it right, so you could get different gigs everywhere. You could get. It was more forgiving, so you could do 10 minutes, and if it was, it was easier. Whereas now, to even get a 10-minute gig is difficult. Yeah, you're doing 5 minutes for free in front of the same people, blah blah blah. And I think that's what the big problem with it is now is the progression's really difficult. Yeah, and I think there's not that many paid spots anyway. It's like trying to be a Premiership footballer, isn't there? You know what I mean? Every kid wants to be a footballer, but there's only so many. So you've got to place yourself where you want to be, realistically.
Like when I went into this, I didn't go into it thinking, I'm going to be on live at the Apollo. I'm going to be doing DVDs, releasing specials, all that sort of stuff. That's not for me. If I could earn a living just doing the circuit, the UK circuit,
I want to be a circuit comic. I mean,
I'd be made up with that.
My goal is to be a pro act at Frog and Bucket, and I know a lot of people are like, set your sights higher. I'm like, no, I need sizable goals. Yeah, because I'm not. When I was an actor, I wanted to be on TV. I'm not gonna lie, and I nearly got on, but it never happened. But as a comic, I love live comedy, and it's brought me back to my first love, which is the stage. And I just want to be on the stage making people laugh, and I just love club comedy. Yeah. I don't, in my opinion, I think that is where true comedy is. I mean, everyone dreams of being on the TV. That's fine, but I just want to make people laugh, and that's. See, I
don't dream. I've never dreamt of being like super famous or anything like that.
No,
if I can make a living from something I love.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm happy.
Like I want, because obviously I do social media, so I want the two to come together. Yeah, that's what I want.
I think you've got to these days as well.
I think I'm think even more extreme than that. That I think we were talking about this again. That stage comedy now is it's not. There used to be a lot more people going to gigs, and but people don't go out anymore like they used to. You go out even for a pint on a Friday and the pubs are empty. And the same thing with comedy. It's not as popular as it once was. People don't drink like they used to as well, and I think comedy and drinking go hand in hand a little bit. They
definitely go together.
Yeah. So I think that the social media side of it's more important now, because that's where it's at basically.
100%.
And you've got to get. I think there's less and less comedy out there to be done at a pro level, to a point. So people are diversifying now and doing different things, and I think
I think it'd be harder to earn a living from it now as a circuit comic, unless you're already established.
No, I think you can, but I think it's just tough. I think there's a lot. I think that it's difficult. It's more difficult now than it was 20 years ago. That's obvious. Yeah. But that's what I've sort of took from it. It's a lot more bitchy as well now. Whereas when I was doing it, everyone was just.
I was going to ask you, obviously, because when we're doing open mics and stuff, it's very rare there's a female comic.
Okay.
Have you found it different being a female coming into comedy, and do you find it harder to get gigs, things like that? Being a female comic.
I don't find it harder. I actually find that the circuit's quite supportive of females, and I think, to be honest, promoters are quite relieved when they get a female comic saying, "Hi, can I do your gig?" Like, yes, please. I have really loved being on the circuit. I've met some really good people. I think in general, comedians are some of the loveliest people that you'll meet, and they like to support each other.
Yeah.
And certainly I prefer the comedy industry to the acting industry. I found the acting industry a bit
I could imagine being very
backstabbing.
cutthroat.
Yeah, and it's very much like, but you'll get the parts that I want. But whereas in comedy, it's very much like putting your friends up for gigs, recommending each other, that kind of thing, which is nice.
It is a nice social network. There is that side that's really good, I think.
I think, do you know what? I'm really naive, so I internalize things. If I've ever noticed that it's because I'm female, I would just internalize it and think it's me. I think I'm the problem and not maybe remember that, yes, some audiences might have a bias for male comics still. I honestly, I can't comment too much on it.
I think it's got a lot better from, say, when I was doing it. But obviously the world has, hasn't it? The world's become a lot more,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to admit, when I was younger, I used to not think women were funny. I hate admitting that, but I'm just being honest with myself. It's because I didn't see female comics on TV.
Victoria Wood.
I was just going to say Victoria Wood was
but
phenomenal.
that was the only one, essentially. And I didn't feel like there was enough for me to have a basis on.
Mrs. Merton as well was.
I think I'm a bit too young.
Caroline Aherne.
Caroline Aherne,
yeah. Yeah, I think I'm a bit too young.
She was in the Royal Family and stuff like that. She's from Simply, actually. She's from down the road.
Watch Royal Family. I do apologise.
You need to. Oh, you're not Mancunian, though, are you?
Sad.
It's a rite of passage, that. You need to.
But I have to say that now there are so many female comics that I love now, and that I've been able to, being on the circuit and seeing them.
Who's your favourite female comic?
Oh, I really love Jem Brister. I like Susie Ruffell. Ruffle. Who else? Oh, obviously Sarah Millican's a given for a lot of female comics. I really like Kerry Pritchard, Hayley Ellis as well.
Hayley Ellis is great.
Yeah. Who else? Who else do I like?
Lauren Patterson's probably mine.
Lauren
Patterson.
I like her too.
She's amazing, Lauren.
Oh God, there's someone on the top of my head right now, and I can't think who it is, and I'm like, oh, Taylor Tomlinson.
Oh, I love Taylor Tomlinson.
Yeah. She's probably what I aspire to be.
Yeah, Taylor Tomlinson
definitely,
is unbelievably
I feel like
good.
that is my kind of humour. Less blue. I'm a little bit less blue than her.
Yeah.
But just her sarcasm, her sense of humour is 100%
good.
And when I came across Taylor Tomlinson, I was like, yes.
Her last Netflix special was one of the best.
Stunning.
one of the best stand-up specials I've seen.
Yeah.
Amazingly good.
Agreed. Yeah.
I really love Taylor Tomlinson.
She's my number one female comic. Yeah.
I love Amy Schumer. Just because, but it was more not for a stand-up. It was more the Amy Schumer. Was it called the Amy Schumer thing or something like that? She did a sketch show basically, but it was really, really funny. The sketch show.
I'm going to rephrase that. I'm not going to say female comic. I'm going to say comic.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And also, I'm massively influenced by the marvelous Mrs. Maisel. She's not a real comedian.
See, I've not watched that yet.
But it's honest. Like there's, especially in the first few seasons, there's quite a lot of advice that's given that I sort of took, especially pausing with jokes. And then you get a second wave of laughter.
100%.
And I remember watching the episode, I did it at hot water, and I went, oh, it works.
I
recommend watching that.
So, you do social media and this, right? This is something we were not discussing, but talking about. So, you've got comedy, stand-up, yeah? Now, and I can't remember the name of the guy, but he's really well done. So, he'll get his joke, right? And he'll film himself as if he's doing stand-up, but then he'll have actors playing his joke out.
Okay.
And it was really cool. And I watched it and I thought, that's where it needs to go, really. Because, do you know what I mean? It gives you a lot of... I find that people don't imagine stuff like they used to. It was easy now. Now, because the world's, even with 5 minutes, people lose interest now. It's weird.
Not with me.
So if you've got a different way of doing it, even if it's all on social media where you've got that explaining it, then I think that's a great way of doing it, if that's right. So it's sort of combining the acting with the... Yeah,
so what I've noticed from my expertise of being a social media manager, what was I saying? So with social media, when you upload stand-up, like live stand-up, it doesn't do as well on TikTok especially. I don't know why. I can't figure it out, but
because people aren't listening.
Do better. Yeah. They just don't have the attention, and I think with social media, it needs to be like your face is right up close to the camera, and then So I think you're right.
It's got to be like instant, hasn't it? It's got to instantly grab them. Whereas watching if you put a reel on that's a minute long, like a minute long story out of your stand up, people are like, oh, fuck it. And they'll just skip to the next reel. Because it's so
Exactly,
easy
yeah.
to just swipe past it, isn't it?
You have to grab people in 5 seconds, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is really difficult.
Joel's been arrested for that.
like a gypsy wedding.
Should we do the bucket?
Yeah.
Let's do the bucket. So things that our viewers have sent in
Yeah.
that the opinion is too old for that shit.
Okay.
So let's see what we've got. I can't remember what I wrote in today.
You can be the voice of youth on this.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
Well, I'm 30, but...
Oh, you're lucky.
Are you 30?
Yeah.
Oh,
I know I
wow.
look young.
You
but-
do look younger. So somebody wrote in and said, at 40,
Yeah.
Yeah.
am I too old to keep stealing things when I'm drunk?
Yes. I mean, I think you're always too old to be doing
No,
that.
I
unless you're
disagree.
5.
I disagree.
What's the best thing you stole when you were drunk?
A house.
Oh my god.
You broke into somebody's house?
I just
Or like
made
a
that up.
motorhome? You just
No,
fucking
I just
drove
made
off
that
with
up.
it?
I don't know. Best thing I've ever stolen. I'm not a stealer though. I just borrow
No.
it.
I stole a life-size cutout of Lenny Henry.
That's pretty cool.
Alright.
Yeah.
okay.
From, you know, when you used to do the Premier Inn adverts and the
Yeah,
Travelodge
yeah,
advert.
yeah.
I can't remember if it was Premier Inn or Travelodge. You used to do the adverts for them,
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
And the pub that I used to
It
drink
was a
at had
purple one. What was the purple one?
let's say Travelodge.
Yeah.
And there was one of them attached to the pub that we used to drink in.
Okay.
So we finished drinking, and on the way out, absolutely shit-faced, there was a life-size cutout of Lenny Henry in reception. So I was like to my mate, you go distract that receptionist. I'm going to get the Lenny Henry. So I took the Lenny Henry, got chased by the receptionist to get this Lenny Henry back. And I was staying at a friend's house. And they lived with the mum. So I put the Lenny Henry outside the mum's bedroom door. Just fucking stood it outside of there and just waited for the scream in the morning. Yeah, they're still together. They got married. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dawn won't be happy. Yeah, they
No.
split up now, aren't they?
Who?
Dawn French. She was
Yeah,
married
they
to Dawn
did.
French.
They
wasn't
did split up.
Yeah, it's another one.
Yeah, don't forget. Yeah, well, actually, Jennifer Saunders is one of
Yeah.
my.
Oh yeah, French and Saunders was
Yeah.
phenomenal,
Well,
wasn't
I
it?
like Ab Fab. That's,
I
that's
love
my
Ab
Fab,
favourite.
yeah.
One of my
I liked her
favourite
daughter. What was she
comedy
called in
shows.
it?
Who?
A daughter in Ab Fab. The one that was dead, not. Yeah, it's Sassy or something.
Sassy or something like that, wasn't it?
Safi.
Safi.
Saffron,
Yeah, that's the one.
Stigma of a crocus.
But I think you can steal things when you're pissed. Well into
I
your
mean, when
50s.
you're old, like
Yeah, just
older,
do it.
like elderly, you just go, "Oh, it's my dementia." And
Yeah.
then, like, just say you
I think
forgot.
that's even funnier when they're like super old and they're still they're coming home with like a traffic cone.
Why
love that.
Why do you steal traffic cones?
Oh mate, I went and picked my mum up from the train station last week in Wigan train station. There was Wigan and Warrington had just played rugby, and all the Warrington fans were going into the train station, and one of them tried to kick a traffic cone over, pissed up, like 'cause he was angry, and it was weighted at the bottom, and it just bounced back and hit him straight in the bollocks. And it was just one of the most pure comedy. I was like, I seen that live. I was dead happy about it. And he doubled over. Got in the balls with a traffic cone. It was his own fault for being a dick, but it was funny.
Yeah.
It was really funny. But I don't think you can ever be too old to steal things. I think it's always funny.
Depends what it is, doesn't it? If it's innocent things, it's fine. But if it's like, people's cars and stuff, then.
Oh yeah, don't steal something. I'm talking like if you
Look, I've got a small child.
yeah, don't do that.
Kidnapping.
Even yeah, don't do that. But like a hanging basket when you're walking home pissed. Or
Why did he call them? Because you're quite nice, aren't they?
what?
Them hanging basket.
I'm not even fucking going there, with you, Joe.
Go on, what other ones have you got?
Let's have a look. Let's have a butchers.
Hey, you've got your Crocs on.
Oh right, yeah, this one was from me mate.
You mean a customer?
So
Oh, hang on. Like and subscribe.
brilliant.
Do you want to do is a like and subscribe?
Yeah.
Cheers, John.
So if you like what you're watching and listening to here, like and subscribe to @Lethal Weapon.
Lethal
something.
Weapons Pod.
Yeah.
Pod.
Put order.
That's the one.
We like dolphins.
We like dolphins.
Yeah, because
I don't like dolphins.
No, but they're in a pod.
And follow me. Follow me at D Frances Comedy on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram.
We'll put all your socials on the screen for you as well.
Yeah, if you tell me how to spell them.
So one of my mates messaged in. This was actually from one of my mates saying he can't leave the house anymore without having a piss first. He's like, what age does that happen?
Ooh, that's a good one, that.
Yeah.
You see, I think if I'm going in the car, I always check.
Yeah.
Well, I think...
And I relate to this.
I think it's...
I think it's instilled in you, like, when you're a kid, because your mum always tells you, like, go for...
I feel like I could hold it a lot better when I was younger.
Oh, yeah, I could.
Now, like, approaching 40, I'm like...
How many pints before you have to go for a wee?
2.
2?
2 pints.
I mean, 2.
2 pints, yeah.
Oh.
But if I'm out
when
drinking...
I drink, I'm at the toilet all the time.
Yeah, so I'll break that seal after 2 pints now.
You see, I know I can go like a bit longer.
Can you?
Yeah.
You've got a better prostate.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Do you know what? Call back to hospitality. I used to have to go to... Genuinely, I did have to go to the toilet a lot because you drink more.
Yeah,
when you're
constant.
at work. Yeah.
You know what I fucking hated about hospitality?
What?
You could only ever drink like water or cordial. Like they won't let you get a Coke.
Oh, we
It's like 30 odd degrees in the fucking kitchen.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
and they were like, oh no, you can have cordial or water.
I mean, if you
You're not
paid
having
for
Coke.
it, you'd go.
Yeah, I'm not paying for it. I'm fucking working there. It's 30 odd degrees. Let me have a fucking glass of Pepsi, you cunt.
You can have one here though, so
Yeah.
up in the world,
I
mate.
can have a crime.
A crime, yeah.
I think sometimes if the manager was being nice, they would buy you a Coke. But yeah, it would always have to be water or cordial.
Yeah. That's why I used to be dead nice to like the waitresses and the bar staff and stuff like that, because I get beers then at the end of my shift. So when I'm cleaning down, I'd be like, get a pint.
Yeah, like you would get them free food as
Yeah,
well.
100%.
Yeah,
100%. If they'd been on the shift, I'd be like, right, come on, make you a nice big sandwich.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's got to be done, hasn't it? But I can't. Yeah, when I'm leaving work now, and I've only got like a 15-20 minute drive home, I'm like, I'm gonna have to go for a wee. I'm gonna have to go for a piss now. 100%.
I always go like at the end of work as well because I've got a long journey.
Should go in work really, and you're getting paid.
Get paid.
Being on company time is the best thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. I wouldn't go at the end of work. I'd go in work and.
Oh yeah. I can't poo at work though.
Can you not?
No.
I don't want to know actually.
Yeah, I think once I got to 30, I think your bladder just shrinks.
I'm all right with that. I can.
Are you still all right?
Yeah.
I think
riding motorbike's harder.
Riding a motorbike?
Yeah.
In what way?
It just makes you want to wee.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, because it's
like the vibration.
Yeah, and the pressure how you sat and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
But you hold it in because you just do.
Yeah. Great. You never pissed yourself on your bike then? No.
No, never ever.
Amazing.
No.
And last one.
Go on.
Superstitions.
We've had this before, haven't we?
No.
I'm dead superstitious, mate.
In what way? This rang true for me a bit this week, just because everyone who I work with is obsessed with sage and burning sage at the minute.
Sage.
Yeah. Apparently, you burn sage, and it gets rid of all the negative energy and stuff in your house. What?
Vodka does that.
No, vodka brings negativity, doesn't it? It doesn't get rid of it.
I have my own superstitions. Just
like, have you ever done like gigs and it's gone well?
Superstitional.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that.
just little things that I'm like, oh, if I don't do this, that won't happen.
Yeah.
Some might say OCD, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I always do. We have spoken about this before, but I always do the magpie thing.
Right.
And what I hate, is this is a conundrum. I get myself into. So if you see one magpie, you have to salute. It brings you bad luck, doesn't it?
Okay.
Right. So if you see two, together, that's good luck. So you don't have to do anything. But what I hate is if I see one and then salute, and that cancels it out, and then see another one. Because I've cancelled that out, I've only seen one, so I have to salute again. Yeah. Sometimes I'm in the car and see
you
one.
Sound
like that,
mental.
People next to you in the car will go.
Actually mental.
I've always done that, I think. And what else do I have superstition about?
So like, if you did a gig, and it went really shit, I'd be like, oh, I'm not wearing that t-shirt again.
Really?
That's the kind of superstition that I'm on about. Yeah.
You see, no, I won't do that because that's silly.
No.
Because I've only got.
But you'll fucking salute.
I've got 3 t-shirts.
You'll salute at wildlife.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And what else have we got? Well, I've told you one about the universe. Do you believe in the universe?
In the what?
The universe, where you can ask the universe for things.
Please explain further.
So there's a theory, right? I had him on this and he just thinks I'm a knob, right? But do you know Tesla, Nikola Tesla, the inventor guy?
Is this another promoter that I need to know?
No. He was he? I can't remember where he was from.
Nikola Tesla, I think he was an inventor and a physicist, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, the name rings a bell.
Yeah, right. Anyway, he had
got some cars named after him.
Yeah.
Oh,
It is,
okay.
actually.
I know Tesla. I know that.
Yeah, that's. But he basically had this thing with 3, 6, and 9, right?
Okay.
And that's. So what he reckons is you can ask, everything exists in the universe because there's parallel universes, and it's out there, but you've just got to align yourself with it, and then you get it. Right, so if you're driving through and what parking space, you can ask the universe for a parking space. When you get there, you'll have one. But you can do it with anything.
I'd like to ask the universe for a successful comedy career.
But what you've got to do if you read into it, but it'll work, but you've got this positive affirmations, that's what it's called. So you've got to ask 3 times in the morning, 6 times at dinner, 9 times at night.
Exactly.
Well, that's it. But if you don't, you won't get it. But if you do, it's positive affirmation that will come true.
So I
have you been doing that for this podcast?
No.
Have you not been doing that? Why?
No.
You believe in it?
I know, but
so
you can't do it
get
all
us 1,000
the time.
subscribers,
Can I get this right?
500 now.
Let me just get this round in my brain. So if I want, a paid gig, right? So I've got to go in the morning, I've got to go, can I have a paid gig, please? Can I have a paid gig, please? Can I get a paid gig? Right, I go to work. And then in the afternoon, I have to go, can I have a paid gig, please? Can I have a paid gig? Is that what we'll have to do?
Yeah.
And then 9 times at night?
Yeah. Before you go to bed. And then, but you've got to do it for 3 weeks. And then 6 weeks, and then 9 weeks, and at the end of 9 weeks, you'll get it. It's all about, because that 3, 6, and 9, you know the Fibonacci curve that goes like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's prevalent in nature, and apparently that's what you've got, that's a natural thing. It's dead interesting.
Do you have like a link you could like send me?
I'll send it.
Because I recently got a tarot reading, right? And I don't believe in all of this, but it still fascinates me.
Yeah.
And I'm not, the tarot reading was pretty...
I think I'm with you on that. With that, you don't, but also
And there's still that interest where you're like, but it could be.
It could be. It's not doing any harm.
I hope it's true because it did seem to know me quite well, and it was a hot reading because my friend did it on me. That doesn't sound right.
What's a hot reading like? So
a hot reading is the person who knows. So a cold reading is the person doesn't know you.
Oh, okay,
but the
makes sense.
hot reading is they know you, and so they can probably give you more of an in-depth reading as to what they think might be.
Okay. Do you believe in all that?
Not in the slightest. No.
My mum's very spiritual.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All my family are all like into. They go see spiritual mediums and.
Do you not believe though that if you do want something enough that you can get it?
I just apply for gigs on Facebook, mate. I can say the words out loud as much as you want. If I don't apply for them, I ain't getting them.
But if you want to quote a Oasis song, if you want something enough, you can get it
by applying yourself, just by doing it.
Yeah. And that's essentially what that
is.
Because
if I just sat at home and just asked the universe and did 3, 6, 9 for 3 weeks, 6 weeks, and 9 weeks, but I did no gigs and I did no applying for gigs, I wouldn't get a paid gig, would I?
Yeah, but you've got to remember that hard work is often opportunity is often disguised by hard work, you see. So you might have it, but because you're not doing anything about it, you won't see it.
So I have to ask 3, 6, 9. So I have to ask, am I asking the same question for 3 weeks?
Yeah, because it's positive affirmation.
Right. So what's 3 plus 6 plus 9?
3 plus 9, 18.
18, yeah.
Right. So then I'm just asking for 18 weeks then, aren't I? Why is it 3, 6, 9? If it's the same question.
Because that's how it works. But when
it's just 18 weeks, so you're just asking it for 18 weeks.
Yeah.
But you're asking it for 3, 6, and 9 weeks.
But you're not though. You're just asking it all in one go. If it's the same question.
Well, yeah. But you could just ask 18 times in the morning.
Yeah.
And am I lessening it each time?
Yeah. But it's basically all it is just ingraining it in yourself.
Right. So for the first 3 weeks, I ask 3 times.
Yeah.
And then for the first 6 weeks, I ask 6 times. Right. I didn't pick that up last time. Okay, so you increase it each time. 9 times after 9 weeks. Oh my god.
And it'll work. And if it, but you've got to believe it. That's the thing. Yeah. But it does work. I got a parking space once.
Do you not just think there was just a parking space?
No. No, there never is until I wish for it. 18 weeks of wishing for that parking space.
I look at you and I wonder, why did you wish for that? It's true. There's so many things you could wish for.
Because I was testing it.
Do you know what I mean?
Theory.
And I just think a parking space is just, maybe you only get one in your whole life. You get
No,
one
you
wish
get
and
more.
you've
You
wasted
get
it.
more, but you can't waste it. That's the thing with it. You don't.
Can I ask it for more wishes?
Yeah.
3 times, 6 times, and 9 times.
Yeah. Well, I
All
don't
those,
really
yeah.
know. I mean, but if you read about him, he's actually dead interesting bloke, that Tesla.
Oh yeah, he was amazing inventor and
Okay.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was absolutely batshit fucking crazy as well.
Little
But yeah, there you go.
Didn't he die from an STD?
No, he died from basically he invented 3-phase electricity, and his mate run, I think GEC or somewhere like that, and they said they weren't making any money, so he signed all his patents over to him, and he ended up with fuck all, living in an hotel they paid for, and he'd have been the richest man in the world if he'd have stuck to his guns. Quite sad.
Wow.
Is he single?
I don't know, he's dead, but he didn't wish for that, did he?
No, he didn't. Maybe that's what he wanted.
Is
Maybe.
he single? 3-phase.
Have you got anything you would like to plug? Anything you would like to tell us about? What have you got coming
We
up?
haven't done the submarine.
No.
Oh, not have I? Should we talk about the submarine?
Talk
I
about
think.
Titanic.
I think it'll be. Yeah. We can talk about Titanic.
Let's talk about
Yeah.
Titanic.
Yes, because I am
I
a
am
massive fan of the
I'm-
Titanic.
It's really weird to say you're a fan of a ship, isn't it? But
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I get it.
I am.
I
A
get
fan
it.
of the
It fascinates me
Titanic. Yeah, yeah.
because I love the film as well.
Yeah, I love the film.
Yeah.
But I've watched like every documentary on the Titanic.
Yeah.
What's his sister ship called? I can't remember.
Oh, I do know it as well.
I do as well.
Wasn't the Mauritania? Was it?
No.
The Mauritania was a different ship.
Yeah, Titanic, and it was.
See, this is why we need our Googler, don't we?
Yeah, where is it?
Sister.
It was called because you reckon that's the
Was
one.
it the
that
Olympus or something
Yeah,
like that?
it was. They reckon that's the
Yeah.
one that sunk.
Was it
don't
the
they?
Olympus?
Yeah, I think it was
If you
the
believe
Olympic.
the conspiracy theories, they reckon it was that sunk. Cause
Yeah, it was
they
an
owed that
insurance
much
job,
money
wasn't
on
it?
Yeah,
That's what they said.
yeah, but I don't know.
There's a conspiracy theory that the Titanic was it wasn't the Titanic.
Was
that
it the
actually sunk.
Olympic?
It
Not
was
the
something
Olympus.
like that.
I think it was the Olympic.
I think the thing about the Titanic, everyone says, why is there so much fuss about the Titanic and not the other ships that sank? And I think, well, because it was the biggest ship at the time, and
Yeah, the
it
Olympic.
was built to be its own lifeboat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not to mention how many people died, and not to mention because of Titanic, that's why we have the lifeboat
And
regulations that we do now.
Kate Winslet won on every ship, was she?
Exactly.
No.
That's
Them
what-
two only had each other, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was-
feeling
Right,
that-
I want to settle a debate, right? Because this really does annoy me a lot, right? So he tried to get on the door and he fell off. So he sacrificed himself for us. When people are like, there was enough room for two, I'm like, yes, there was. But he tried to get on it and it buckled.
It did tip.
It tipped, right?
It did
So
tip.
when everyone's like, oh, there was enough room for two, I'm like, you haven't watched the film properly. You didn't
Yeah.
watch that bit where he tried to get on and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So, Kate Winslet, that's what,
Yeah.
like, she's my girl.
I
Yeah.
like Kate
Yeah.
Winslet. Yeah. Very much.
Leonardo's all right though. He did look cold though, didn't
It did look chilly.
He looked a bit, yeah.
It did look chilly. Fucking great film that, you know.
I just love when she goes, I promise to never let go.
he?
And he's just like,
Bye, Jack.
Leo always
Do you know what
does.
I found dead weird though? So she loved Jack, and then he died. Spoiler alert! If you've not seen that film from 1998, she then had another life with another man and got married and had kids and did all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But then when she died, goes up the stairs to Jack. I bet her husband is fucking sat there
I know, like,
watching her coming to heaven, going, "Oh,
It's so
what
weird
the-
because
what
like
the fuck?"
the interpretation of the film is like, does she die or is she just sleeping?
Oh, she's
and I
dead.
I think she joins Jack because she's above him, isn't she, on the boat? So that's why she.
But
yeah, you're right. You're right. She did.
her
love
husband's
Jack.
in
She only
heaven.
knew him for 4 days.
Yeah.
But she,
His
she
husband
loved
might
Jack
not have been
more.
dead, so she might have just been having a cheeky bit
Oh,
with
her
him.
husband
till
was well
it's-
dead
Yeah,
because she
that's
was like
true.
101 in the film, wasn't she?
Oh, was she?
101.
She did.
Oh,
She
that's
did all the
right.
things that Jack told her to do, though. That's what's quite
she
nice.
did.
About it.
Yeah.
I've only seen it once.
Have you? I watched it 3 times
I've been on
at
the
the
ferry.
cinema.
I've been on the ferry from
Nice.
Hull, and that's
Loved it.
like it.
Absolutely love it. Still in my top 5 favourite films ever.
Really?
Yeah.
If I could, I would visit Titanic.
I wouldn't now.
Oh,
Do you know what? I would.
You'd still go down there?
Yeah.
I think they need to. Here's the question.
I
for
mean,
you.
this is probably the best time to go, isn't it? Because the
Cheap
regulations are
money,
going to be. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly,
People are going to be like,
Yeah.
can we just check it again?
Yeah.
We just check it one more time.
What's your thoughts on that? Because I think they should try and preserve it, because I know it's got the rusticles that are like eating away. It's bacteria that's eating away.
I don't think you can. It's too deep and it costs too much money, I think.
Yeah, but I think, should they do a recovery? I think they should.
Well,
I
like
think
try
they
and
should-
bring it up.
No. I mean, like recovering artifacts.
A guy's
and
got
things.
a part of it, hasn't he, in Las Vegas in one of his
Yes,
hotels.
he does,
He's
yeah.
got like a big bit off the side of it.
Yeah.
And they've been in and got a lot of the metal and stuff out, haven't they, with ROV?
Yeah.
The gold and stuff.
Yeah,
and
'cause
precious stuff out.
They say to leave it alone because it's a gravesite. I'm like, yes, it is. I do agree with that. A lot of the bodies, I hope no one hates me for saying this, but a lot of the bodies were on the surface. They're not really down there anymore. And I just think,
And if there was, it was like
they could belong to
110 years ago
relatives,
now.
couldn't they? So I just feel like that might be.
100%.
Yeah.
I
feel
don't know.
like-
I just think it's a bit of a folly in it. There's better things to spend because it would cost loads of money. I mean,
It cost billions.
Mm.
Literally would cost billions.
I don't know, but I don't know. I think it's great, but I just don't know.
I think we need to put more money into exploring space.
I don't see. I think we should get Earth sorted first.
But we're not going to.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant sorting Earth now.
Why?
Because the sun eventually will grow into and devour Earth anyway.
Yeah,
It's always going to end Earth.
no, it's the opposite. It's
No, it's
moving
not.
away.
No, but the sun will grow into a red giant and will swallow
But
the
the
Earth.
universe is expanding.
We're not expanding. No, the universe is expanding. We will always be in that same solar system. We will always be in that same.
But that's expanding.
What do you mean? No, it's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
It is.
No,
It is.
no, it's
They
not.
put mirrors on the moon to measure it.
No, the moon's moving away.
Well, everything is because it's
No.
expanding.
No, the moon is moving away, but it's literally like a centimetre
Right,
per
we're
year.
going to get Brian Cox on. He'll tell us.
Get him on.
Yeah,
Get him on.
Brian Cox would take about 10 minutes to
Knowledgeable
get a
about
sentence
this
out,
stuff.
wouldn't he?
We'll always be in that orbit with the sun.
It's
I love his voice.
wonderful.
Is moving away.
It's wonderful. I think he's great.
He could talk me to sleep. Honestly, I'd love him to
Do you
just.
fancy
He
him
does
a
talk
bit?
to me to sleep.
Do you know what? I think I have probably got a bit of a man crush on Brian Cox.
Have you?
Yeah.
I would have done apart from when he was in D-Ream, put me right off.
D-Ream?
Yeah, remember that things can only
Yeah.
get better. He played the keys in that.
Did he really?
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Well, I did not know that.
There you go.
I could just have him. You know, like if I was a billionaire,
Yeah.
I'd just hire him to sit in the corner of my bedroom telling me stories.
Oh, yeah, that'd be good. wouldn't
Telling
it?
me stories about the universe, so I could just fall asleep
Thing is,
listening
like,
to Brian
I have
Cox.
such a thirst for knowledge, and I really hate that I'll never know, because I'm going to die before anything about if we ever do find aliens. And I mean, I do believe in aliens, just not the green things that people think they are. But there's got to be
There's
life
gotta
out
be,
there.
yeah.
There's no,
There's no
no,
way it's just
no.
us. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Actually.
Common
100%.
sense.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
like, because who's to say that the life forms are like us, or who's to say that all life forms need oxygen to
Well,
survive?
the thing you don't, because there's them ones on Earth, isn't there, with the thermal
exactly, I
vents
was
that can
literally
give off
about to say that.
sulfur.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Because
There's
who's to
definitely
say
life.
that life forms haven't created, like, been evolved on Neptune to survive on Neptune's atmosphere? Like, there's no saying.
I get you. No, I'm
Yeah.
with you completely. There's definitely got to be something.
Yeah.
Whether it's intelligent life or not is
I
a
listened
different
to
question.
I listened to a thing that was quite scary, and that was saying about AI, and everyone's worried it's going to take the world over, and if AI decides, oh, actually the oxygen's rusting my, corroding my circuits, then we'll stop the oxygen and kill everyone. But then I listened to a thing that said that probably won't need to worry because it's getting clever that fast that it won't see us as a threat. It'll see us like insects, insignificant, and just move on. And I was like, wow. I remember getting a calculator at school and being like the coolest kid ever. Oh, yes, I can.
Remember when
have
they
that
said you
up
would
here.
never have a calculator in your pocket?
Yeah. God, I remember mobile phones. Remember fax machines were like really cool.
Yeah.
Mad, innit?
Yeah, I remember faxes. Yeah. Can't remember what that question was.
Titanic.
But yeah, Titanic.
Made in Ireland, wasn't it?
It was. But didn't it have Made in Liverpool on the back of it?
Don't know. Did it?
Yeah. Could tell. Didn't have
Yeah,
any wheels.
it started its maiden voyage in Liverpool, but it was built by Northern
It
Irish
was, yeah.
people. Yeah.
White Star Lines, wasn't it?
It was White Star Lines.
Yeah.
And a common myth is that it wasn't built properly, but it was built perfectly.
There was a guy that was going to build a replica of it, wasn't there, in America? I don't know. Would you go on it? Would you go on it?
Too, isn't there?
Yeah.
And it's going to do the same voice.
Yeah, I know. Would you go on it though?
Without a doubt.
I'd follow it in a sub.
What, all the way down?
Yeah, I'd follow it in the ship behind it just to like make sure.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they'd fit it with like modern technology now as well, though, wouldn't they? They wouldn't make it exactly the same as that one.
No. They don't even know properly why it's sunk, do they?
A big hole in it.
I mean,
no, well, they say that, but they don't actually know, do they? They don't actually know.
Do you know what's stupid about it though? Is if they'd just collided with the iceberg head on, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
But it's because they swerved.
They tried to turn away and it dotted along the hull.
Yeah, but people love Broadies, don't they? Handbrake turn.
Is that what it's called? Where you're from, Broadie?
A Broadie, broadside, yeah.
Right.
Do you not have that? You see them on your bike?
Handbrake turn.
What,
skids.
Skids?
Doing skids.
Nah, that's what you have in your underpants.
You do. You do. At your age.
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
But I would definitely go on a Titanic replica.
Would you?
Yeah.
Do you know, they reckon that it didn't... I was watching all the Titanic documentaries on Disney Plus last night, and they reckon it didn't split on the surface. They didn't, like, when it snapped in half, they reckon they did it lower down because the debris field...
Yeah.
This is so geeky, isn't it?
I love it.
The debris field is a lot smaller on the ocean bed, and it would be larger if it was split at the top. But then there's eyewitness accounts to say that it split at the top, so...
Yeah.
It
depends.
depends.
Because that's what they said, didn't it? It went to a point where it couldn't hold its own weight anymore, and that's what's...
Yeah,
the apartments
people saw that happen.
Yeah.
So...
Well, unless it just stuck up half of it and then went...
I reckon it split a little bit, and then the reason why it brought down is because it was still like attached.
Still attached to the bottom.
And then it must have properly come apart when it was sinking.
It must be horrendous, that though, mustn't it?
Fucking hell, yeah. All that money for them tickets.
I know.
Not for Thingy though. He didn't pay a lot, Jack, did he? He had the POV.
He won. Jack won his tickets.
He was in the POV bait though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Didn't go all inclusive.
Still got to go and have a nice tea though, didn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
He got to go and have a nice tea though, because he saved her from jumping off.
That is Jason Bourne. But
if I went on that Titanic replica, I'd definitely sit on the top deck, like pretending to draw.
Would you not do
see if someone would come over and be like, "Do you want to draw me?"
No, I would go down into like the decks and try and dance on my tippy toes.
Would you do the Irish dancing? 100%.
I'd be that captain, mate.
You do like Captain Bird,
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dead good.
I just reenact the car scene by myself with the hand.
That would be me on my own, to be fair.
It's so random that hand. It's like, yeah, all right, we get what you're doing. The hand did not need to be there.
No, it didn't, did it? It didn't. Have you ever done that in the? Because I'll be honest, I've been in the shower and done that. Done that on the shower screen.
Usually when you piss, so it.
The thing is, right, I was 9. Because I didn't understand when I was a child. I thought she was just trying to make shapes.
Oh no, I've done it as an adult.
It was when I got older and I was like, oh my god, I can't believe what was I trying to do when I was younger.
Yeah, I've done that as a grown up. On my own, just in the shower. Can we make the exact pattern that she
But I
does?
think I've done it in the car when I was younger as well. I'm like, look, Mum, it's like in Titanic. And she was like, don't do that.
We will get pulled over.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Love it. So yeah, Titanic fans.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
No. Not enough to go down and see it anymore.
I would. If I could. It's a lot of money though, isn't it?
250 grand each.
Crushing.
Here's a bit of a crushing blow, mate. Yeah,
It's
you're
like
right.
a bit of a sinking feeling.
Yeah. They're all coming out, aren't they? Well, they're not.
Oh no! People
Do you reckon
died, Tommy.
I know they
Bit
did.
of David Bowie on the radio.
What was... Go
Under
on.
pressure.
Under pressure.
Yeah. Oh no.
Sweet. On that fucking bombshell, I think we'll call that an episode. What do you reckon?
Have you got anything you want to say before we go?
Yes, I'd like to plug my comedy night that I run. It's called Gags at the Nags in Manchester. I run that with Jake Bowen and Monty Wilson. Our next one is the 13th of July, and yeah, it's in centre of Manchester, so no excuses. Good
Amazing.
night. Good night that we've got.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
You got out?
Out to plug. I've got a gig next Sunday. Doing a middle 10 next Sunday in Blackpool. Sam Serrano's closing. That'll be a great gig.
Serrano.
Sam Serrano.
I love them.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Such a great act. I think I'm doing the driving as well, so that'll be really good. That'll be really good fun. What about you?
Don't know.
No?
No, I might just turn up somewhere unannounced.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Episode.
Hey.
Have
And if you have
thank
any
you.
spots open up on your gags at the
Yes.
Nags, drop me a message.
Yeah.